Your biggest surprise of the season thus far.
Positive one. Okay. I would have to say it's Julius Randle.
Okay.
Just based
I was
on
anticipating you saying that, so I came up with something different.
Excellent. Yes. Just based on the fact that he looked like a depreciating asset, and it seemed like most of the time when people, myself included, were talking about Randle, it was, well, look on the bright side. You know, he's only worth $4 million on a guaranteed deal for the year after. That's really nothing. It's pocket change if you want to swallow it. It's not a big deal. And he's instead turned into this all-around player. And it's been beautiful to watch. You know, I mean, there's a great Twitter thread on his off-ball defense towards the end of the second Pacers game.
Yep.
And if you follow him, it's mesmerizing because this is someone who, you know, he's fighting over screens. He's consistently staying with his man. It's someone where on one particular play, he did such a good job that it was actually Mitch who started to lose. I think it was Turner potentially. And it was like, is this Freaky Friday? Have the roles completely switched? And it was great to see him. And the fact that he is able to impact the game when a shot isn't falling, because the way he's playing, it feels unsustainable. And yet maybe he's been reined in enough and he's carved out a role, and they've developed a system and a scheme that can actually utilize his strengths, because he has never had a coach like Tom Thibodeau, excuse me. And he does have KP in there, the true KP that we acknowledge.
The only real KP.
The only real KP.
Well, actually, Chris Persianen deserves a mention.
Of course. Well, I guess I meant more in terms of like official member of the New York Knicks KP. But if I had to go, yes, I'd say Chris Persianen, Kenny Payne, and then
anybody else.
So yeah, Katy Perry even. Put her there.
I love Katy Perry. She pumps them out.
Yeah. So it's hard not to say Randle because of just how deflating it felt everything was. And he should absolutely be in the conversation for most improved player if he keeps this up.
That award. I mean, yes, but that award it's not usually given to a mid-career guy, and Randle at this point is a mid-career guy. That would be fascinating. Someone who covers the Pacers DM me after the game. Randle was fucking insane this game, so good. And I said he's never defended like this in his life. And he said that was all defense work right there. No joke. Sabonis had nothing going. And this is someone who watches Sabonis every night. It's legit. I will say just quickly on Randle before I get to my biggest surprise. I think of the two things that are standing out right now as outliers for his career, the assists and the long distance shooting, the 3-point percentage can revert to form, but it's not like he's making 6 threes a game. He's making 1.8 3-pointers a game on 50% shooting. So if you lessen that to just 1 3 a game, so he's taking 3.7 a game and he's making 1.8. If you just lessen it to like 1.1 or 1.2, he's still in business in terms of what he's being able to do on offense. And the passing, boy, I think that's absolutely legit because he is, if anything, overpassing still, which is leading to a lot of the turnovers. He's second in the league in turnovers. I think there's a chance that he could get even more comfortable with the right passes he's supposed to make. And Tibbs even talked about that in the postgame. The execution, on those. So kudos to Julius Randle. My biggest surprise is Mitchell Robinson, not necessarily in how he's played, but he's averaging 27.8 minutes per game. Nerlens Noel is averaging 15.1 minutes per game. If you would have told me those numbers would have been inverted before the season, I'd be like, man, that sucks. I really was hoping Mitch would come out and establish the tone and at least be Noel's equal, maybe a little bit better, but it wouldn't have shocked me. If anything, if you were to it's the minutes are 28 to 15, pick who's getting the 28 and who's getting the 15. We're like, well, it kind of sucks, but I guess Noel's getting the 28. It's the other way around. And not only has Mitch outplayed Noel, Mitch has outplayed Noel by a significant margin. I would say the only area that I would say Nerlens is ahead of Mitch is he's been able to get out a little bit more on the perimeter, which is, I would argue, as much a scheme thing because Tibbs clearly wants Mitch to stay closer to the paint, and he's letting Noel roam a little bit more. So there may be a comfort zone thing, but I've just been really surprised at how Mitchell Robinson has established himself and separated himself in this, whatever this center competition, if you want to say, and talk about things I think are here to stay. I don't think that's reverting back to form at all.
I'm with you. Yeah, you can see the development almost at a gamely basis, and it's beautiful. I mean, there was, I guess if we want to talk about the Pacers game, just his sheer presence around the rim with the tip-ins consistently, the lobs, he was a nightmare for Indiana. And then, I talked about the negative in that one play towards the end, but there was one thing that really caught my eye, which he applied so much fantastic pressure. I think it was against Brogdon on the baseline defensively, where it looked almost like they're trying to ice, and the way that he kind of forced a cross court pass because his defense was just that good, where the way he was handling his body, it just those types of things where you can see the instincts go, because we know that he has that raw potential. It's a matter of how it manifests on the court.
The blocked three and that was steal, and
that sealed the game.
Again, there's 3 guys in the league that could do that. I don't,
Yeah, it's like him, Ben Simmons, maybe one other person.
It's hard to even make a list.
Right, exactly. I can't even think of the third person. That's how.
And you gave that guy to this coach now, and I think we're starting to see the the rewards.